Hey everybody, what's the deal? It's your boy A.K.A. Sorry, I'm looking kind of ragged. I've been like really sick lately. I don't know what's dealing with my heart issues, or it's just that I've been sick for a while, and I'm just getting out of this, hoping and trying to get myself back together and shit like that. And you can see I'm growing my beard back, but taking my time with this beard this time. It's gonna grow right. Let me ask you a question. I know there's a lot of religious people on here. You know what I mean? There's a lot of religious people on you know um social media. And I'm not trying to attack anybody's belief system. If you believe in Christianity, if you believe in being a Jehovah's, you believe being a Muslims, Protestants, your religion is your religion. Please do not take any of this personal. I don't have a religion. I do not follow a God. I do not follow a Messiah. You know, I have a different belief system that I've always believed in ever since, like, reading a lot of Egyptians, you know, digging into their religion and their background because of me always wondering how my ancestors thrived throughout Africa, through the times of the kingdoms and the power and their belief systems. And what really puzzles me is that a lot of people believe in religions that were created by man. Like, these religions was not created by, actual spiritual being, a Messiah or a God. They were created by man, like the laws and the scriptures and many of these things are written by man. So, but we were taught to believe in the word, not believe in our own heart of what we believe in to be true or false. And what really is scary is that a lot of people, especially in this presidency of, of Donald Trump, of a lot of people voted for Donald Trump because he represented the Christian religion, which he said he was a Christian. And I don't know if a lot of people didn't hear that or cared to hear that, but a lot of people voted for Trump for his so-called thinking that he is a religious person, but he's never was a religious person. Now, this is what I want to ask to all the people out there that deeply believe in their religion. I don't care if it's God, I don't care if it's Allah, I don't care what God that you believe in, that is a spiritual belief. Why do you think only us as humans on this planet Earth that circles around the star, third planet from the sun, you know, um, I mean, why do you think that God only cares about this planet, not the quadrillion? I mean, multi billions and trillions and quadrillions of stars and maybe planets that circle these stars all over the cosmos. Why don't people think that if there is a creator, that creator is not sitting here looking at this planet and obsessed with this planet, knowing that this being or this creator has created more life on distant planets or distant galaxies, because there are so many galaxies. There are so many different galaxies people don't realize because we can only see a small portion of our universe. Even though we can use the most powerful telescope, the most powerful telescope cannot see that far away. So we are blinded by darkness because we cannot see beyond certain parts of the universe because there's so many galaxies, like billions and beyond billions of galaxies. The universe is probably so massive we don't even know what's on the other side of the cosmos. Because a lot of people thinking that's because we're here on this planet and we're circling a star, our star, for they say 14 billion years. I believe it's less than that because, human beings don't even know how long we've been on this planet. Science always wants to believe that it was 14 billion years ago, which I believe the Earth is a lot younger than that because the universe is a lot older than that. I think the universe is trillions and trillions of years old. I believe human beings, and this is my opinion, people can write down all the most ignorant things they want to write down there if they want to. They don't have to like this video. I don't care because, it's just my opinion, because a lot of people don't like opinion when it comes to Christianity or any type of religion. People just like to attack people just because they have their own opinion when it comes to religion. And this is just all religions, because all religions all believe in now one God. Most religions believe in most gods and prophets, and how these prophets were born, how they came to be, and how God came to be. Because nobody ever tells me how God ever came into existence. But people always say, well, Adam and Eve. I'm like, well, they said there were humans before Adam and Eve. So how is it that, and there were animals that actually could talk. So how could it not be that these animals could not know what God says, but human beings only can? I just never understood that. And the fear that I have about humans, we're going to get so caught up in religion and beliefs that we're going to end up finding out the truth about why religion is really here. And I don't think that people would understand or care to understand because they're so obsessed with religion and God and Jesus that's been put in the forefront of us throughout our history and even our ancestors, and been passed down through generations and generations of books and texts and all these other things, which people always say, well, you got to believe the word. I said, okay, but you won't believe that there's spirits. You won't believe that there's ghosts, but you will not. But you'll believe that God is a spirit, and you believe that Jesus is a spirit, but you won't believe the spirits that can walk around anywhere and pop in your house at any time. You know how people say they don't believe in ghosts, but they believe in God as a spirit, but they're both the same thing. And the thing that really cracks me up of is because people say that they believe in this powerful being called Jesus. Why do we? Why can't we prove that he exists? Why do we always have to say that the Bible says that's proof? A book cannot prove anything to you. When you read stories about horror, do you believe that the book is actually true about that Jason or that Freddy or the alien or whatever really truly exists? So somebody tell you that this book, the Bible, is true because they tell you that it is. You'll sit there and say, well, okay, it's true. But how do you know if it's true? See, generations of stories have been passed down for probably thousands of hundreds of thousands of years through the Native Americans, through the Egyptians, through all different types of folklore, like stories through uh, you know about conquest and conquering, sea bearing, all that. Always are stories, you know, and the Chinese were the best at really telling stories because all their storytellings always will took a look about how they threw it through spirit. And when we talk about spirit, we only talk about one spirit. We don't never talk about multiple spirits, which the Egyptians believe in multiple spirits. Multiple, I mean a lot of spirits. But I just always want to know why people always never believe that if there's a creator, why are we obsessed to believe that the creator only cares about this planet and no other planet that's out there, which there's trillions and beyond trillions of planets that are circling their star, and they might have life on there because the only reason why we can't see that because we can't leave from our own planet. We can't leave from our own surface of our own planet. We can't take a space shuttle and go to another galaxy that's probably at least about 5.6 light years away, or we can go to the closest star, which we can't even get to. We got the nebula. We got different types of galaxies that are so close to us that we can't even go there because it's so far. We could believe it is close, but it's really far. What we haven't traveled beyond? We haven't gone to Mars yet. We went to the moon, so cool say. Why do we go to the moon? Why could we go to Venus? Venus is right next to us. Why could we go to Mercury? Mercury's not that far from, at least about 9 million miles away, 8 million miles away. We can still get there. We had all these satellites flying all over the place. But us as humans can only go so far distance. So that's the reason why, because we don't have no technology to travel beyond. We have a satellite that just left our solar system, just got past our solar system. Not go past our solar system. It's probably going to take another couple of thousand, something. I think it's a couple of thousand years or less than that to get out of our solar system. So you can imagine man trying to get out of the solar system. It'll take us more than a couple of thousand years to get out of our own solar system. Not to even just to get into our own Milky Way. And then once we get into our Milky Way, it's a million. It's probably at least about a million light years across. So by the time we get out of our own solar system, our own Milky Way, none of us would exist. Now we're talking about we can go through these wormholes. Who wants to do that shit? So we want to skip just to try to find out there's life out there, just to prove that we're the only ones that exist, which they probably have come here to tell us that we're here, but that we don't want to believe that they have so much far off of technology before in front of us that we are afraid to say that they are more intelligent than us because we want to be the most intelligent. We won't tell that God only created us to be the most intelligent. God created us to be the most inventive, the most dynamic. We are the ones that are on a planet that is perfect from a star, perfect from our star. Well, everybody know the Earth was not perfect to the star anyway because the Earth was further away from the star. Because of its gravity, that it go gently floated into the third part of of where the Earth is settled now. But we don't. God is just a God. Really, honestly, God's been used for many generations, and they've been used in multiple names and multiple stories. But we took this one God and we had to say we could only use one God. Like Nefertiti and her husband Nagasaki used one God, but the thing about it, they used this God, the original God of Ra, which was the original God. They made that one as a one God because multiple gods were always used throughout Egypt. And many of like the Chinese, the Japanese, and many other cultures like the Hindu, they all use multiple gods. And then when Christianity came to the forefront after Constantine rewritten the Bible or rewritten the stories of the Bible and took a lot of women out, he made the Bible made it a male dominant book. So the book was already created to have God as be a man. And if she was a woman, nobody would take her seriously as they would take a man serious because they believe that man was created out of the image of God and women was not. And the funny thing about it is, how could women not be the image of God? You should have a woman's head off her head. You still just like a man. So, but the thing about it is that the image of God is honestly what really puzzles me because I believe, why do we have to be created out of the image of God if we have a soul? What is our soul? Our soul is separate from our bodies. Our soul is when we leave this shell and we move on. And I believe that we're travelers. I believe our souls. This is my opinion. Y'all can say some nutty ass stuff y'all want to me. Y'all can be disrespectful to me. Like I said before, this is my opinion and this is my thoughts. Because even the geniuses ask these questions, and I'm not a genius. So the thing about people want to just go and attack me because the things I said is cool. You do what you want to do. Just do what you want to do, but I don't care. But the thing is, I believe in my heart that our souls travel. I don't believe our souls are what people believe is a creation. I believe our souls are old. I believe our souls are like hundreds of thousands of years old. I believe our souls been traveling from all over the cosmos, all over the universe, from different planets, from different life forms, and we have been traveling planet to planet to planet to planet because we're still trying to find our comfortable planet to live on, but we can't because every planet that we go to we destroy. Like everybody will believe that we went to Mars once and we destroyed Mars and then we came to Earth, or we were on the moon, we destroyed the moon and we came to Earth, or we were on Venus because Venus is similar to Earth. They believe that the humans destroyed Venus and came straight over to Earth. So we always are like movers. We don't stay here. We believe, people that believe in religion believe that we stay on this earth and wait for judgment. That is just the mindset of being human. Because human beings are a shell of what our souls really are different. Because our souls are different. Once we leave this body, we are an entity that is a soul. Our bodies will go until the body will dissolve. The body will go back to the earth. You know what I mean? So our souls are the ones that are left roaming or taking off and flying and finding another place to go. Maybe it travels through dimensions. I believe our souls are older than what it is. People want to believe our souls go by our ages. Number one, age we're made up. Us being 14, 15 years old, or all ages are all made up. Our names are all made up because we had to put a time stamp of when we were born and when we were going to die. And this is the human, not the soul. We don't know how old the soul is because can't see the soul, but the soul does exist. And we are part of that once we leave this body. And people have seen souls before and have seen spiritual beings before that told them that they are travelers. They travel, they don't stay here. And I believe humans stay, I think people, their souls stay here because they're waiting for somebody else to go that they were close to, or they're protecting that person that they were close to, or a family member, or whatever, whatever. You know what I mean? And they don't want to leave because they feel comfortable here. So they will probably be reincarnated or come back as something else. Me, if that's me, I would not want to be here on this planet anymore. I want to move on. I want to move on to another galaxy or cosmos to find somewhere else to be, because religion to me really makes people imagine, people cannot imagine what happened millions of years ago, or billions of years ago, or trillions of years ago, because we are stuck on reading a book of somebody saying that they created, but God never talks about how He created the universe. He never created that. He don't create how He created black holes, how He created cores or stars, or how He created the whole cosmos of trillions and beyond trillions and beyond trillions, or telling us that there's more others out there than just us. Now, God would not say, "Oh, we're the only ones here." He would not say that. He's like, "Okay, well, it's more than y'all out there. It's just that they're just further apart from you." But us humans, we believe that we're the only ones in this universe, and we're not. And I believe our souls prove that. I believe our souls don't stay here. We leave, and there's souls that come and leave, and then with some souls that come because they're traveling. We're travelers, not time travelers. We just travel to get where we gotta be, and we probably come to places that we're exploring, and then we are brought into trying to figure out about what's going on with this planet. So we are born into it. So we're born into it. Then we won't. Then we're living in a horrible time, and then we die. Then we move on. What is wrong with believing that? People don't want to believe that. People want to believe that they are just here to live life, die, and be judged to go to hell or heaven. We have a soul. And like I said, even the ancient Egyptians believed that souls were time travelers. They didn't sit here and stay in one area, they moved on. Like the Native Americans believed the same thing. And many other religions believed that the souls did not stay on earth. They moved on to wherever else they had to go. Once, and it has nothing to do with a heaven or a hell. Because we believe in the heaven or a hell because we believe that there's comfort and there's uncomfort. And that means heaven is comfortable and hell is not. So we believe that there's a good and evil. But I believe our souls don't know what good and evil is once we go move on. Our souls don't know what good and evil is. We are taught good and evil. We are taught good and evil from our teachers, from the Bibles, from these books. We are taught to learn what good and evil is, which good and evil really honestly is made up, because they're words that were written by man. Like the English language. The English language was created by man. The laws, the books of life, in the sense of what they're saying the books of life is created by man. So us as human beings, we are just stuck on reading these books. We're obsessed with these books, but we don't explore ourselves or what's going on. See, science is trying to explore, but I think science already figured it out already, that we are time travelers. Not time travelers, we are travelers. Our souls don't stay here. And science don't want you to believe that. They don't want you to believe that it's something out there that's way better than this. But the thing about it is we're so stuck here on this planet. We are obsessed of being here. That's why we're afraid to die. Because we think that we're going to go to hell or heaven. But I don't believe that we go anywhere. I believe that we move on to go somewhere else beyond this solar system. You know? Because if you believe in a God, why can't you believe that God created more than one human beings in the cosmos? Trillions and beyond trillions and beyond trillions and beyond trillions of stars. This universe is so massive. Stars are so spread so far apart. How can you say that we're the only ones here? Because they're saying, well, nobody ever comes to visit. Why would anybody want to come and visit this planet? Why would they want to come and visit us? We're terrible. We don't take care of ourselves. We're evil to each other. We're destroying If we had a belief in a God system, why do we destroy what God has given us? He given us a planet to take care of, and we destroyed it. But we want to live still on a planet that we don't even take care of. And we're very violent toward each other, we're ignorant toward each other, disrespectful to each other, we're racist towards each other. The evil that happens on this planet, knowing that humans say we could change, it's been over nearly probably 1 million years as humans been on this planet, and we have never done anything to try to straighten ourselves out as humans, to say that God is watching us. If there is a God, why does he let us struggle this long? If we would have been at peace already, wouldn't he already be back? Because they said that's when God was going to come back, is when the world is at peace. What my fault? Jesus was going to come back when man is at peace. Man will never be at peace because man don't know what peace is, because man is so destructive. All we care about is destruction. We only care about chaos. We only care about hurting each other, killing each other for money, wealth, power. That's all we care. How is God going to tell us, well, we need to stop? Even if God came down right now, imagine if Jesus came down right now and said he was Jesus, nobody would ever believe that he was Jesus Christ. Number one, they will mock him, and then they will try to hurt him. Just like they tried to do to him back then when he said he was Jesus, the Son of God. They mocked him and threw him on a cross. You don't think we're going to do the same thing to him today? You don't think human beings will do the same thing to Jesus today that they did 2,000 years ago when he said he was the Son of God, and they threw him on a cross? We're going to do the same thing to him today, because we don't want a God. We want freedom. We don't want laws. The laws that we have now, we don't even fucking follow. But we get mad when other people don't follow the laws, but we don't, as individuals, don't follow the laws of supposedly the 10 Commandments that were created for us to follow. We don't follow them. So how do we sit there and say God is what we fear? We don't fear a God. We don't even fear a devil. And even the devil don't like a liar. Why do we fear the devil? I still don't understand why we fear the devil. Who should, and why do you fear God? Number one, God, you should never have to fear God in the first place, because God is a loving God. Why would you fear him? Why would you be afraid of somebody that's loving and caring, that created you to love and care and follow behind his footsteps by taking care of the planet that he gave you? You destroyed the planet that he gave you. Then you want to know, say, well, the devil didn't make you do anything to destroy this planet. Man destroyed this planet because they destroyed this planet. They found about a fossil fuel. They found about electricity. They found about gas. They found about a lot of shit that actually destroyed this planet. And all the resources that we had from being on this planet, all the resources are almost gone. The resources that you say God has given us, man has taken all the resources and destroyed all the resources. Where are we going to get our, that's what they want to do. They want to go to Mars and try to find some resources on Mars. Let's go to Mars and try to find water. Let's go to Mars and try to find this or that. Why do we need to go to a dead planet to try to find stuff? Knowing we got a living planet right here, that we've been living on this earth for nearly 1 million years, the stuff that God has given us on this planet, but we want to go about 5,000 something, 5 million miles away to go to a planet that's floating in space. There's a big red ball, and we want to go and take stuff from there because we think it will help this planet. We want to take all the viruses, which we always talk about how bad viruses are. We want to go to a planet, take viruses, and bring them back to Earth and study them, knowing these viruses can be very, very dangerous to human beings. But this is what humans do, because we are taught these things and not to understand that human beings been doing this for a long time, for going planet to planet to planet. Every planet that we have been to that's probably comfortable as this planet, we destroyed. Because this is what humans do. Humans will never change. And that's why why do we believe so hardly in a religion or God if we don't take care of what he has given us or she has given us? Because we don't even know God is a woman or a man. We don't know, because we never see. Oh, how would you tell me that somebody is this or this? You never seen a face of her or him, or we never even heard the voice. We don't know if God is a Texan. We don't know if he's a Dallas Cowboy fan. We don't know if he's an Eagle fan, a Patriot fan. We don't know what God is. We don't know if he likes soccer. We don't know if he likes hockey. We don't know if he likes chicken. We don't know if he likes shrimp. We don't know what this man likes. We don't know if he dresses stylish today. Did he know all the languages before languages ever existed? Because every human being didn't talk English before English was created. Every human being wasn't talking, you know, the gangster style, or proper speaking before man and women started speaking English. Because they had many, many, many other different types of languages and different types of tongues throughout history. So how is it that God knows all these languages before these languages ever existed? Did God teach man how to speak English? I don't think so. Did he teach people how to speak Spanish? I don't think so. Did he teach people how to speak Chinese, Japanese? I don't think so. It's human beings that done that. Did God ever have a language? What did he speak? Did anybody tell me what God spoke before he became? What the Bible say he spoke Greek? The Bible talked about he spoke Aramaic. What is the real voice and the real speaking of his language? Did he speak in African? Did he speak in Jewish? Because Jewish, the language didn't exist 10,000 years, 2,000 years ago. They didn't have a language. They basically didn't have a language. They spoke another language back then. Like every other culture throughout time spoke different languages. Sorry about that. It just blows my mind that people follow these religions and all getting all hyperactive when people get on me and jump and go, oh, how dare you talk about the Bible? You need to read the Bible. I don't need to read anything. I already read the Bible. Why would I need to read it again? And I read the Quran. They're both the same fucking book. But the Quran you read back to front. And you read the Bible front to back. So it's nothing different of the same beliefs that they believe in. It's the same system, but they just believe that what there was a prophet. That's all. And the thing is that two religions for more than any other religion in history was the Arab and Christian religion. They're fighting to this still to this very day. They're fighting. See, the one thing that really just blows my mind is we've been on this earth for at least 1,000,000 years, and we haven't changed as humans. We have been brainwashed 1,000,000 years ago, before technology, before anything, because of stories that's been passed down through generations. Because that's all we could know about our history is through stories, and most of the stories that have been told has been lies. Just like when they started writing books, when people couldn't even read or write, they used books to try to force people to learn about religion, because out there people couldn't read or write, so they will persecute them because they didn't read the Bible, or they couldn't read because most of the people back then couldn't read or write. So they were forcing them to read the Bible. And when they found out they couldn't read the Bible, they were taught through Sunday schools, or they were forced to learn the Bible when they were dealing with another religion that they followed. Because most Christians that believed in their God did not follow Christianity. They just follow God. They didn't follow a religion. People follow a religion. They don't follow a God. And that's what I'm saying. It's a difference. Most Christians follow a religion. Some Christians just follow God and Jesus. So it's two different types of religions that people follow that has to do with the Christian religion. And before the Christian religion became so powerful, and now mostly billions of people on the planet are more likely to follow the religion than any other religion in the world, most of the people that follow Christianity were the ones that were forced to follow Christianity. If they didn't follow or believe in God, they will have been executed, or they were burnt at the stakes, or they'll be exiled. This has been going on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years, but a lot of people don't believe it because they believe that every religion came out to be one religion, and it has never came to be one religion because it was multiple. There were so many fucking religions back in time. To this very day, there's still multiple religions, and they all believe in different beliefs. Some don't even believe in God. Some beliefs in religion don't even have a God in their religion. Some have a female that they follow. Some has a male, an animal, a tree, ground, water, the mountains, the storms. Some people have different belief systems in their religion. But the thing was, when Christianity was created, it was created for to conquer and rule over the people that were not educated, the ones that couldn't read or write. That's where the religion was taught. That's why a lot of Africans were taught the religion when they were enslavement, because a lot of Africans couldn't read, and not because they couldn't read, it's because they were enslaved to be forced to be into religion of Christianity. Because people say, oh, well, it started in Africa. It did not start in Africa. There were, yes, there were churches in Africa, but it didn't start in Africa. Christianity started in Rome. It started in Rome. It started from the face of Constantine. They used to have freaking meetings of every pope, every king, every freaking person that was in power at the time to actually put stuff in this book. Priests, popes, all different religious people were sitting at this table trying to figure out what could go in the Bible and what could not go in the Bible. And to this very day, they do the same thing. They still are doing the same thing this very day. It's the Vatican tells everybody what they can talk about and what they cannot talk about. Even in churches, you see in churches, they only read what they want you to know about the Bible and not know about reality of how religion was actually came to be. Because you have all these different preachers preaching one side of the Bible. You got the one preaching the New Testament, the Old Testament, Genesis, and all these different, the Roman texts. They all are different people. They're doing different things to make people believe in one God. Because if you believe in one God is better to believe in multiple. People say, well, why don't you believe in God? I said, I used to believe in God. And the only reason why I stopped believing in God, because number one, God doesn't exist. I believe the human being is actually God. We are the ones that we came from out of nowhere. Human beings came out of nowhere. Just like animals, they came out of nowhere. Just like the earth was created, like it was created in a perfect part of the of the solar system. And human beings came here from other parts of the universe and came and settled here. Started in Africa, and then it spread it throughout the whole planet. People will say I'm wrong about that. Okay, I'm wrong. Like I said before, you say what anything you fucking want about me. I don't care because number one, people just don't use their own mind to think. People just go by what everybody else says and don't use their own mind to think about things that are going on in the world today and how people can fool you with stories and lies. Because if you're going to sit there and tell me that God created this planet and he left us order to take care of it. Why haven't we took care of this planet? Now, if God created this planet and he wanted us to take care of it, why is he not angry at what we had done to his planet? He said he flooded the earth. Why can't he do it again? Because we're the ones that cause fires. We're the ones that cause scourge. People don't really believe that we cause earthquakes. We got these big ass drilling machines that sit out there in the middle of the ocean drilling for oil. They actually can cause earthquakes. They created fucking they created fucking machines that could create clouds. Now hurricanes, I don't believe they could create hurricanes. I don't think they are probably at that technology yet. If they are, they probably already there. But I don't think they could create. I think they could create thunderstorms. I think man can create things to you know, melting the ice caps. Look what's going on. Look what's going on with our ozone layer. The sun actually punctured a hole into our Earth and is melting every single ice cap. By the time, probably by 2050, Florida might be underwater. This is a world that human beings are destroying. We are the problem. We want to blame God for everything. We want to blame the devil for anything. Oh, it's the devil's fault. So you telling me that the devil tells you to do something just because he wants your soul? I don't think that. I don't think the devil wants a dirty soul. Because he once was an angel. Why would he want you to do anything dirty? Because he's mad at God for cursing him and throwing him out of heaven? Because I believe that the devil wants to get back into heaven. Why would he want to do so much chaos to try to not get back into the gates of heaven, which he helped rule for so, because he was second in charge of heaven. Lucifer was second in charge. So why the hell he was more powerful than all the angels that exist, and he was second. He was the right hand of God. Why wouldn't he want to get back into heaven and have that power again? He's probably telling God right now, man's not worth saving. We're not, and I always say that we're not worth saving. Because if we were worth saving, we would change and we would have changed ourselves around by now, instead not trying to press that red button that will nuclear bomb every single person on this planet. Which most of these presidents and senators and all these powerful people have the keys to is to these bombs, these nuclear warheads that could take a whole freaking country out. We're sitting right in the middle of a volcano called Yellowstone Park. That volcano can explode at any time and anywhere. 600,000 years where that fucking Yellowstone exploded before. 600,000 years ago. And they said it's probably due to have a Yellowstone explosion. We have not taken care of this planet at all. We put so much shit into our oceans. We put so much shit into the atmosphere. We take satellites and put them in space. We got so much space junk that circles around this planet. It's actually, when you see probably like things coming back down to this Earth, it's probably those satellites that are falling right back down to Earth. Because we have not taken care of this Earth at all. We don't care about taking care of this Earth. Because we are so determined to destroy this planet. So maybe in a probably couple of once everybody, once technology becomes more inventive, we're going to get on these space shuttles and we're going to fly to other planets. Because this is what we do. We go to planet to planet to planet. We're so destructive. And I believe that the aliens that come down here and visit Earth tells us that this is not our first planet that we have been to. We've probably been to billions of planets and we destroyed most of them. Because we don't know how to take care of anything. Because it's just what human beings have been doing for a very long time. And it's never going to change. And I'm hoping that if your belief system is very strong, I think y'all really need to think really strongly about the religions that y'all follow. Because religions are not going to save you. And people say, well, you gotta be saved. Saved by what? Being dumped in water? Like, come on, no. That doesn't make anything for me to protect me from harm that's going to happen in regular life. And nothing's going to protect me from harm in regular life. God is not going to protect me from death. He's not going to. Human beings live on a slim rope in life anyway. But God is not going to protect us from death. Because when it's our time, it's our time. We want to live forever. We want to live for millions of years. I'm like, I don't want to live long. I don't give a fuck about. Listen, let me live how long I can live. I don't want to live for hundreds of years. I don't want to be 100 years old. I don't want to live to be 100. I don't want to live to be old. I don't want to. I want to live enough to see my daughter get married, have a family, and her saying, "Daddy, thank you for raising me." It's time for me to go. I'll be bored once my daughter get married and once my daughter settled. I'm done. There's nothing left for me to try to prove on a planet that I've been here for almost 50 years. What else for there for me to prove on this planet? People say, well, you'll have grandkids. Listen, my grandkids are going to be with her mother. It's time for me to move on with I want to, I want to see my mom. I want to see my mom. I want to see my grandmother. I want to see my past family that passed on. Why would I want to be here for another 30 years to go through the most pain that I have been going through for the last past 30 years or the last past 40 years or it's not. Why would I want to do that? Man is not going to change ASAP. Man has been the same for almost a billion years. It never changed. So you're telling me I need to be happy to live on a planet that's slowly dying or probably are already dying? I mean, the planet already is almost running out of resources. Why would I want to be here and live here another 30 to 40 to 50 years, knowing that I have been seeing things ever since I was young until now? A lot of these people want to say, you have faith in God. I'm not, faith in why? Why? Why should I have faith knowing that I'm not going to be here long? And then what, I got to worry about going to hell and when I'm going to enjoy my afterlife in hell? So you're trying to keep me from rushing to go to hell. Which every human probably might end up going anyway is the hell. Because every human sinned all through their life. Every human has sinned. So hell is going to be calling, and God's not going to forgive everyone. You think it's because you're going to repent before you die. That don't mean that. Repenting before you die doesn't mean anything. Because you still have no regrets of the things you have done in your life. Remember, you've been on this earth for a long periods of time. Have you have any regret at what you have done in your life? People don't even remember the things they have done in their life that cause them regret. I don't give a fuck what happens after, a certain amount of years after. It's time for me to just say, you know what? It's time. Whatever you ready to take me, take me. I don't want to be 100 years old. I don't want to be 80 years old, 90 years old. I don't want to live to be that age. I already see so many wars. I see so many, I see so much hate, racism, everything on the earth dying, meltings of caps, volcanoes, earthquakes, tsunamis. I've seen that shit. Hurricanes the size of fucking continents. I've seen that shit. I went through two different types of pandemics. Really three, because you gotta put the swine flu pandemic in there too, and you still have yellow fever still exists. But I've been through multiple pandemics. Why would I want to live through that again? Why do we want to live through death just to try to get to heaven, knowing most of us ain't going to make it to heaven? And then you got to go through judgment. So you can imagine how many people live through this planet and die to get judged. So we'll be waiting a long time for a judge. No. This is the reason why I don't believe in a God. I believe that we move on. But the fear is people have a fear of death. People fear it so much because they think they're going to miss out on something that's never going to happen. Like we're little kids, we don't want to go to sleep because we fear that we're going to miss something. So we cry, cry, cry to keep ourselves awake. This is what us humans do. We are so much afraid of death. We are afraid to close our eyes to go to sleep sometimes because we think that we're never going to wake up. Sometimes you can't be afraid of that. You just got to say, okay, it's going to happen regardless. You can't control Father Time. You can't control death. You can't say, no, death, you can't come and get me today. You got to come and get me next week. You're like, what? Fuck you. Just slash you with a cipher. Like, when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. People just got to just sit there and just, okay. Yes, it's going to be some fear because you don't never know what's going to, because we never died. So we don't know what's going on. We will never know what's going to happen in the afterlife. People say the afterlife is more peaceful than life anyway. Because we got technology, we got all this shit, this junk shit. We got all this junk in reality. But we still live in a fantasy world. Because nobody understands what reality is anyway, because we live in this fantasy world, this made up fucking internet motherfucking world we live in, cell phone world we live in. Before cell phones ever existed, we lived in reality. We lived in a real world before cell phones were ever created, before the internet and all that kind of stuff came to be. We lived in the reality world. We actually seen each other as real people. We didn't talk about dimensions. We didn't talk about parallel worlds. We didn't talk about matrixing. We talked about things that actually existed in front of us. We actually could touch things and know it was real. People live in a fantasy world now, think everything is basically a matrix. And this is the reason why, like, how the fuck do you believe in a God if you believe that human beings are not even real? People telling me, oh, God exists, so human beings ain't real. No, human beings, we're living all in a matrix. So how do you believe God exists? So God is a matrix? Is he a big ass fucking computer? Is Jesus the one controlling the computer? Controlling God through knowing what the computer does, and he's the one that created man? This is where we live. We live through this false representation of being a human because we are living in a false reality because we never ever got back to reality. After the computers, cell phones, and all this shit was created, our brains were wiped away from reality because our brains are plugged up to the internet. So this is the way we live now. Just like I said, everybody watch that show. Watch the Matrix, the very first Matrix, and you see all of them laying in them chairs, and they got them plugs, and they plug them. They plug their heads in the back of their. They plug take the plugs and plug it in the back of their heads, just like we do with our phones and our computers. We are plugged into the internet, just like how they plug the people in the Matrix. They did the same exact thing that they did to us, and they try to show us what the Matrix was really about. It was about human beings being controlled by technology. Just like Terminator was teaching us that technology was going to control human beings, or technology was going to take over everything, and which technology has done. Everything is run by computer. The Terminator and most movies that were trying to show us that technology was going to take over, it actually has, and human beings has been plugged up to the internet, and we can't unplug ourselves because we are afraid to unplug ourselves because all the information that we used to have in our brains before technology had, people don't understand we had more information in our brains before technology ever was existing. It's just now technology makes up information for us to believe because we don't pick up books no more. We don't pick up a book and read books anymore. People say we got books on computers, but we don't. That's not reading. You listen to somebody talk to you on a phone and tell you a story. It's the same as you picking up a book and reading it and letting your eyes and your brain take on the imagination of the story that was written by that author. We don't do that today. This is the reason why we don't know. We don't have the type of information that we used to have in our brains because all that information is gone. It was wiped away. That's why a lot of people don't remember certain things that happened in their past because most of the information was wiped away from us being so involved in this technology. And once we plugged ourselves up to the internet, it wiped away our information that we had saved throughout our lifetime. And now we are reprogrammed to only turn on the phone, turn on the laptop, turn on your desktop. This is what we have been taking all our lives that we used to not do. But people say, well, it's better to do it that way. It's not better to do it that way. We only believe it's better to do it that way because we're lazier than we were in the past when we actually went to libraries and we sat there or we got a couple of books and we sat there and we read the books page by page, or we used to write essays, or we had to write reports using a pencil or a pen, which now we're sitting on a computer all day and press buttons because that is the part of us not knowing what we forgot what we used to do in the past. Give my generation a pencil right now and tell them to write shit down. They won't do that shit. To walk a certain distance is not what we will do anymore. If we got an opportunity to call somebody to get us to take 2, 3 steps, we will do that because we used to go walk for miles and don't care. If a train was right there, we'll get on the train, we'll just walk. Because that was us being before technology actually controlled us and gotten us lazy. This is the beliefs of the God system. This is the part of the God system. Once upon a time, we were humans. We were actually humans. Now we are part of we're part of the technology. No, we don't have no computer chips in our brains. No, we don't have the sensors in our arms, which that's coming soon, because Elon Musk is already talking about that already. And human beings are going to accept that because when they tell them that they can do things faster, having a computer chip in their brain or having some sensor on their arm to have all their information, people are going to take that because the lazy world that we live in now, that the past that we wasn't lazy because we had to do stuff to go and get our stuff that we needed. We had to go to the library, get what we had to go. We had to go to the bank and get what we want to get our money out. We would have to go to all these places because it would got us up and got us to leave and go out there and exercise. We don't do that anymore because we are so controlled by technology. People say, no, we're not. Yes, we are. People don't want to believe they're controlled by technology. We're the most laziest people in this generation in any generation that has ever existed. We fight over immigrants talking about they don't want to work. They take our jobs. You know, immigrants take jobs that has nothing to do with computers. Did you know they take jobs that has nothing to do with technology? They take jobs that are actually labor jobs, which us as a United States people hate so much. We don't like labor jobs. We like jobs that are easy. We like jobs that won't let us go and just be out there working hard every day. Even though we sit in front of a computer, we think that's hard work. Then a person lifting a box all day that's weighing 300 pounds or dragging a trash bag out a building that's 50 pounds is not more complicated than pressing buttons on computer keys. That's the difference between the past and now. It's like military. What do the military do? The military don't really do anything. All they do is press buttons to have another system program with a missile on it to shoot a missile, which it was never like that before. They had to go out there and fire the missiles all with their hands. Now they got guns that shoot by you pressing a button. They got missiles that you launch without a key. They don't use keys anymore as the launch. They only got codes. They don't use launch keys no more. They use codes. Now in submarines they use keys, but other places they don't use keys. They got codes that they can launch. A president can fire a missile in Antarctica by pressing codes. This is how lazy that we have gotten, and people think technology is the most great. I think technology was the worst thing ever created because it gotten humans to not be able to learn how to be. People say, well, we never learned how to do anything back then. Yes, we did. We had everything in front of us from, you know, uh, you know, different types of schools. People teaching us how to, build things, fish, hunt. We had all that stuff, even in high school, even in elementary school. Even we had camps. Even if we had Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. Now they're taking that away. They're closing off different types of places that kids can go learn stuff that they did back when we were growing up. All the stuff that we had back when we were growing up, it doesn't even exist anymore. They took it all the way. They even took schools out of prisons. They took Bibles out of prisons. This is the reason why I think us human beings are people want to say, well, we're the smartest people in the universe. No, we're not, because if we would have met an alien coming here, they would have been 20,000 times ahead of us. Their technology would be a billion times better than our technology. Because human beings are still learning technology. We are still in its infancy. Technology hasn't been around that long. What, for like at least about 50 years, 60 years? That's not a long time. And technology just advanced 30 years ago. So just imagine we're living in a time thinking technology is so great. Technology just started with the cell phones, the laptops, everything started almost 30 years ago to give it to us to use. Because before 30 years ago, they wouldn't even allow people to buy laptops or use desktops. It was only for the military. We weren't even allowed to use beepers or even allowed to use cell phones because they were for hospitals, they were for construction workers, they were for doctors, for lawyers. We wasn't even allowed to use them. They started selling us these things because they know we could make the money. Because the economy was so bad, they just started selling computers Even TVs wasn't even made for people in the United States. They wasn't even trying to give out color TVs to people because they didn't want us to advance. Now you're seeing technology advance, but it's not advancing too much because technology is still in its infancy. We think is amazing. Look at this. Oh my God, look at all this technology, the graphics. But about at least about 30 years ago, graphics wasn't even great. We're still 16-bit 30 years ago. Just imagine 30 years ago we had 16-bit. 8-bit was like 40 years ago. So we're not even that deep in technology. Just because technology is so great, but we probably have other beings that are way ahead of our time. We're trying to build a motherfucking space shuttle to go back to the moon. And we haven't been to the moon in 60 years. But we've been flying all over the orbit of Earth. We've been throwing satellites and space robots to Mars. But we haven't been to the moon in 60 years. And we're building a shuttle just to go to the moon. And we have been outside the Earth's orbit for nearly 60 years after the first motherfucking, no, the second motherfucking landing on the moon. Now, human beings are trying to go back to the moon. 60 years. Knowing our technology is far away and far away of advance, we could have been on the moon back like 70,000 times. But they're telling us, oh, we can't go back to the moon because we don't have the resources. Motherfucker, how the hell you get to the moon with a piece of paper space shuttle? And now you're saying that, oh, we could go to, oh, but we could go to Mars though. But it will take you decades to get to Mars because if you go to the moon, you got to wait for Mars to orbit Earth, and that will take you another 6 years to get to Mars. And what you gonna do on Mars? Nobody, no human being ever, never been to Mars, and human beings have not been back to the moon. You have to live on the moon for like at least about 30 to 40 years before you even get an attempt to go to the moon, go to Mars. You got to start a civilization on the moon, which they probably already did, but you need to start a civilization on the moon in order for you to go to Mars. Because human beings don't even know how to fucking live on their own planet called Earth. Because we have practically destroyed this planet. But human beings saying we want to travel. We want, so let's fuck Mars. Let's go to Mercury. Let's go to Mercury. Matter of fact, not go to Mercury. Let's go to Pluto. Let's go to one of Saturn's moons. Let's go to one of Jupiter's 70 something moons. But see, human beings have this taste with technology, think our technology is so grand and so amazing. We can't even go back to the fucking moon. And the moon is 3 motherfucking days away. And we can't even go to the moon. But our technology is so superb and so amazing to us because we can see our technology is advancing, but we cannot do anything beyond going out of our own atmosphere to go somewhere else in our own solar system. But we're sending satellites to all these motherfucking places. But we're not going because we are so lazy. If we would have left technology alone, I think we could have went back to the moon. Because the technology wasn't even far advanced when they went to the moon. And they went to the moon like 3 times. But we haven't been back to the moon ever since then. How is that you have a far advanced in technology, but you can't get back to the moon? Nobody's even answered that question. No human being even asked or even cared to say, you know what? Since we got these damn cell phones that could talk in many, many languages now, which I don't know what's so different about any of these cell phones talking, because every phone talks. Even the old models talk. They think these new phones are so advanced, and they're not. They're the same motherfucking phones. They just upgrade them. Just like all these cars. All these cars are upgraded. But they want you to believe that it's new because they want you to buy it. So they put something fantastically, make the car more brighter, make the inside more comfortable, make the system, the radio much better, the lighting much better inside of the car. That's all it is. But it doesn't do anything for us to say technology has evolved. It probably evolved from after 30 years, but it hasn't evolved for my generation because what's the difference of us seeing it? Because all we see is the same motherfucking same shit that happened 30 years ago. But this newer generation can say, oh my God, it's so grand. Look at that. Look at the cell phone. It's so beautiful. It's skinnier now. It can open. Oh my God, it can do all these things. But I'm like, God damn, that shit doing that 30 years ago. But that's how these kids don't know nothing about anything because they were taught nothing. You can't teach kids anything in this generation because if you teach about the past, they wouldn't like anything that comes into the future. Because my generation already been there, done that. We've seen shit that these kids will never fucking see, or they see it and they're shocked and say, "Oh wow, our generation is a lot better." I'm like, motherfucker, your generation is not. It ain't shit. Like religion and many other things that human beings will go back and forth with through many times. One day, we're gonna wake the fuck up, and this earth is gonna be so fucked up, and all humans are gonna do is blame God and blame the devil because we don't blame ourselves for destroying this planet. We don't blame ourselves for not taking care of ourselves. This is the reason why our health's are fucking declining because we don't take care of ourselves because we are lazy. Not one of the motherfuckers. We don't take care. We've been doing this to ourselves for many generations, even though we got all this do this, do that. We don't give a fuck. Our mind is set on just, you know, if I lose weight, I'll lose weight. If I do this, I do this. I don't care. This is the reason why us humans are surely going to disappear off this planet. Man is going to end its existence. God is not going to do anything. The devil is not going to do anything to end our existence. We're going to end our own existence. We're already on that verge of ending our own existence anyway. Because we don't know how to create peace. And if we did create peace, the peace won't last long. We'll end up going back to war because we're already talking about World War III. Already. So why do we think that we will end with peace? We're not. We're going to end with this world, not the world, but human beings taking away our own existence. Because we're already going through famine. We're already going through, waters drying up. We are eating foods that we never eaten before. We're eating from the ocean, which we're not supposed to be eating from the ocean in the first place. I mean, we're not supposed to be eating food from the ocean, from the darker parts of the ocean. We're not supposed to, but we do it anyway. We can't grow. We don't grow food anymore. Everything is processed. Everything has steroid in it. So basically, we're not taking care of ourselves as human beings because we just stuff our face with anything because we have to stuff our face because the foods that we used to eat back when we were growing up, they don't exist anymore. Even when we went to Burger King and McDonald's and many other fast food restaurants, their foods were actually real food. But now all these foods that we go to now are all processed food. All these processed foods have steroids in it. All these processed foods has chemicals in it. Like when they make when they make steaks, they're all made from food coloring to make it look red, which steaks are not red. But this is the way we think we have to. This is even the water. The water we drink is so dirty. So people just stopped drinking water and started supplementing the water with juices, sodas, because they believe that why drink from these water fountains or because we might as well drink from these sodas because sodas mostly have water in it. We can't. We're getting the diseases. We're getting sick. We taking all this medication. We believe these doctors are gods. You know, I mean, we tell us not take advices from older people for some fucking reason. Never take advice from the elderly, or never take advice from people that are over 100 years old. They said what? I said they said what now? Why wouldn't I take advice from a person that's 100 years old? Why wouldn't I take that advice of the 100-year-old person? Because that person lived for over 100 years, and that motherfucker's still moving around good. Because doctors will make you do things that they think is right for you, which is really not true. So this is the reason why we are dying from the medications that we take. All this chalk and bullshit that we take. But people say, well, this is the way we're supposed to, we can't help it. I remember I remember I read a story about doctors used to go door to door and used to pretend like they'll take the pills, so the patient can feel comfortable taking the pill, because patients will be scared to take. And they used to have these fake needles that they will put in their arm to make the child feel comfortable taking the needle. They don't even do that to these kids anymore. They just shove it in somebody's fucking arm, or they'll pop all these pills for you to take, which they used to be so cautious of you taking medication. They don't care what kind of medication you take now, because human beings don't know how to take care of human beings. This is the reason why I have a problem that we believe in God, because most of the time when we talk about God, we're talking about an entity that is supposed to be the one that created man, and supposed to be the one supposed to protect man. And now people say, well, God gave us choices. Yes, he did. He gave us choices. But this is the reason why I believe that if there is a God, God is not going to be sticking around here worried about us when he has so many other motherfucking planets he has to deal with throughout the cosmos. So that's the reason why. Unless God is having so many messiahs all around different kinds of galaxies and shit, having all these Jesuses and shit all over the place, watching all these planets. No, I believe that if it is a God, this God is not sticking around here. He's letting humans do what humans are supposed to do. Take care of their fucking selves. And all this praying and all this other kind of stuff. He doesn't give a damn about any of that stuff. We want to believe that God cares in us praying. He doesn't listen to anything we fucking say. Because number one, why would he listen to anything that we say? Because everybody says the same fucking thing to him. But like I said, people are going to not believe anything I say because people are so obsessed with religion. And I think religion really messed up us as humans. Me, I follow the religion of the Egyptian religion. I don't follow any of these other religions. And the Egyptian religion, if people know the true origin of Egyptian religion, they believe in multiple gods, but they actually believe in women as females as gods, not males. And a lot of their entities are females, which that's the reason why Christian religion really hated the Egyptian religion, because the Egyptian religion actually believed that women were actually the higher power of entities, and actually believed when Earth was created, it was created by different gods. It wasn't created by one God. And most of the gods that created Earth were female. And this is their religion. This is the truth of their religion. And this is the reason why I follow their religion so much. I don't go by Christian religion. I don't. Because I'm number one, my family came out of Africa. And I believe some of my family probably were in Egypt at the time when Egypt was around. And probably in Kush. So I believe that the religion they taught you back in that time of Egypt is the same religion that they make taught you now when you believe in Jesus and Mary and Horus and Isis. It's the same thing. They believe in the god Ra, so Ra is the sun god, so which they believe God is a sun, so they believe in the same religion. So, but I love the Egyptian religion because of my roots and my families that probably followed the same religion throughout history of Africa until Christianity became a religion that all human beings has followed. which took them away from their original religion and their original belief system before Christianity came into fruition, because it wasn't called Christianity at the time, because Christianity didn't have a name, and God didn't have a name neither, and the Bible wasn't written yet. Now, they say the Bible was written many thousand years or many hundreds of years after Jesus' death. So how is it that from 2,000 years to now, the Bible's not even that old? But people will say that the Bible is thousands of years old. It's not. The Bible is probably at least about probably 1,000 years old right about now, but it's not thousands of years old. Because when I was young, the Bible was about 500 years old. Because the book wasn't written, it was not even written. It was actually torn down in different books, in different scriptures. Like you had the Holy Sepulchre, you had all these different type of books and scrolls that were all over the fucking place. And they were taking all these different religions, which they were mixing the Jewish religion, they were mixing all these different religions and making it one religion. Even took the Holy Quran, the Egyptians, every religion, and they put it in one religion and they created the Bible. And then they started creating the word Christianity, which they used Jesus' name and made it, into the word Christianity. But it started through Constantine and his many, many, many priests, kings, and many other powerful people around him that actually changed the Bible into an actual law book, a powerful law book of conquering and murder and many other things that he has done in these, and make women look far less undesirable to man, to make women not even barely be in the Bible, the woman to be in the Bible, and force women to actually obey man, which if you take all the other religions that was just so the same as Christianity, like the Jewish religion, the Hindu religion, every other religion that actually believed women were underneath man, except the Egyptian religion believed that women were equal to man, which they try to say that men didn't like women, which that wasn't even fucking true. And they know that's not true because they were the ones that say women are equal to man. But these are the stories that they don't put out there because of women, a lot of women's rights were taken away from them. So they will use these stories of the religion to force women to look down on themselves and believe that man is more stronger than them. And it's been written out through history and time. That's why I always tell women, stop reading a book that stop reading the book that made you look undesirable and make man control you and make man be able to punish you if you disrespect or you spoke down to them. That wasn't supposed to be the same because women and men should be able to have equal words to each other because it's called freedom of speech. But women allowed that to happen to them because women were weaker than men, because women were forced to be weak, because they used not just Mary Magdalene, they also used the first wife of Adam, Lilith, saying that she was Satan's daughter. But the true story of Lilith was Lilith did not want to be on the bottom sexually with Adam. So Adam got mad at Lilith because he wanted to be on top sexually with Lilith, but she didn't want him to be on top. She wanted to be on top. So they couldn't even resolve their sexual advances towards each other. So Lilith left. So when God asked where was his wife, well, it was because there was no such thing as wives then, or wasn't even such thing as marriage. But he asked her where she'd go. He said he did not know. God was not going to create another woman for him. He was not was never going to create another woman for him, but he ended up doing it because he said it was uneven. So he created. This is the reason why Lucifer didn't want to bow down to man, because I believe Lucifer didn't want to bow down to man because the woman was so powerful. And I believe the woman, the first person that God presented Lucifer to was a woman, not a man. That's the reason why he wouldn't bow. And he said that man is not perfect. No, he's talking about woman. The woman was the perfect creation. Man wasn't a perfect creation. It was the woman that was the perfect creation. And everybody knows this shit because the mother is the perfect creation. That's why Jesus was so always around women. If you ever see or the story of Jesus' life, the real story, him coming out of the coming out of the story of what was the paper? What was the Holy Scrolls? Jesus was a ladies' man. Jesus had more women following him than men. But they never talk about that because Lucifer, before Constantine took a lot of the stories of the women that actually followed Jesus, that were more than men of his disciples. They took the story. They took about the Bible because Luke, because Constantine despised women because he knew a lot of religions actually use women, just like the Hindu believed that women were really powerful. In African religion, the woman, the mother, was treated like a god. That's why I always tell men, treat your women like they're supposed to be treated. They're supposed to be treated like queens. Because if you believe in Jesus and Jesus told you, well, women were created equally, which he did say, why are you treating women like they're not equal? Because the Bible has been rewritten to tell you that women were never equal because they hated women, especially in that time. They used to sleep, Romans used to sleep with men. They would not sleep with the women. They would kick the women out of parties and they would bring the young men in, dress them up as women and sleep with the women. And even if you look at the movie Gladiator 2 and you see Denzel kissing another man, that's what they fucking used to do in Rome. Even before the men will even go out to war, all the soldiers would sleep with each other or have sexual intercourse with each other because they will give them, I forgot, power or something, or some type of stability of not having any fear or something like that. They used to do that. That's why I'm believing like the Roman Empire believed in so much sexual harsh content and they never loved women. Even the Greeks didn't even like women. They thought women were non-desirable. And I'm always thinking, why does African people of my lineages and my people, or just American blacks, why do we choose? Why we treat the women just like the white man treats their women? They treat their women wrong, regardless of what they say. Well, they treat no, they don't. Black men treat their women way better than any other culture, and that we never get a chance to because we were taught not to treat our women right. If you're taught to do something, you're going to do that. You're not going to sit there and not do it. Because us men, we were taught to treat our women wrong. Even though in Africa, we were taught to treat our women right. To treat them, because women were actually the head of the household because they were already in the house. Yes, the man will go out and hunt. Yes, the man will protect the family, but the woman was the head of the household. No, she didn't sit at the head of the table, but I bet you anything the man respected his wife. When you go to Thanksgiving dinners, who sits at the head of the table? Sometimes it's the grandmother. And I tell people this: the woman is very, very powerful in certain religions, which a lot of motherfuckers don't want to believe they're very, very powerful because of the way religion was written throughout time and how women were mistreated and disrespected and not treated equally, and they had no rights. They was not allowed to speak up for themselves. See, men always talk about how they would have put their hands on a woman. And I'm like, well, would you allow to put your hands on your mother? Because your mother said something wrong to you? Because your mom has the right to put their hands on you because she gave birth to you. She carried you for 9 months. And she pushed you out of a little fucking hole out of her vagina. I guess a mother has the right to put her hands all over you if you disrespect her. But see, us men, we want to be so powerful. We want to say we'll do this to a woman, we'll do that to a woman. I'll slap the shit out of her. I'll beat the shit out of her. Why? Do you say that to your old mother? Do you think about doing that to your old grandma? Do you think about doing that to your old niece? Do you think about doing that to your old granddaughter? Do you think about doing that to your own daughter? You know why men won't say that a man would not agree with me? They'll bring up the woman. Oh, well, she should have put her hands on me. A woman is going to do what a woman is going to do. But you putting your hands on a woman is not going to change anything. It ain't going to make you any tougher. It ain't going to make you more of a man. All it's going to do is get you in more fucking trouble. There's a lot of men out there that don't give a fuck. They put their hands on a woman because they think the woman's weak. And I believe that's throughout generations, women were always posterized as weak people. That's why men always will try to take advantage by speaking over them, yelling at them, cursing. Because us men, we never win a fight against a woman anyway. We never win a fight against a woman. We think we have won a fight, but we don't win fight against women. Because women know what to say. Or I always tell men, watch what you say to a woman, because a woman will bring up shit from you that you don't. You sit there. What did I fucking tell her about that? A woman will break you the fuck down with a snap of a finger, and you will probably you get mad. I said, watch what you say to a woman, because a woman knows more about you than you know about them. Because women ask questions, men don't. Women will know about your fucking past, who you slept with, if you peed the bed, if you used to shit on yourself. You know what I mean? You used to snort crack. They know everything about you. You won't know a goddamn thing about her. That's why us men, we can't win an argument with a female. Because a woman can bring up shit that we don't know nothing about them. Oh, you want to talk? Okay, let me talk about when you used to pee the bed. How the fuck she didn't know I used to pee the bed? Women know. Women will find out. Remember, you got friends, you got family that like to snitch on you. You know what I mean? Do you got his friends? Do you got his ex-girlfriends? Men gotta watch what they say to women sometimes, because women will actually fucking ruin a man's life by saying something about them that they never fucking do that she knew. Talk about their penis and everything. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Sometimes these men think women are weak. I'm like, I don't think a woman's fucking weak. I believe a woman is not going to beat you in a fight. A woman is not going to, you know, do that. But a woman will beat you in a fair vocal war. That's why I don't understand why men argue with women. Because I used to do that shit. I'm like, why the fuck am I arguing with this girl? I haven't won not one motherfucking argument with this girl. Now men gotta go online and how to win an argument with a female. That shit funny. When I saw that shit with how to win an argument with a female, that shit is funny. Because men can never out argue a female. And I will never want to argue with a female, out argue, because I'm not gonna win. You might as well not try to embarrass yourself. I know us men, we want to be superior. We want to win the battle of argument. We want to talk about how I beat her in an argument. Man, get the fuck out of here. No woman ever loses an argument unless she's a child. And I don't even think a child loses an argument. I don't think even a little girl loses an argument. Because women know how to know what to say. Sometimes they won't say it because they don't want to get you mad. Because women can shut a man down real quick. That some men will get a divorce or not speak to their girlfriend or wife for months because of one thing they said out their mouth that they didn't expect for them to say. And they thought they didn't even know nothing about what they used to do in their past. And they said it, and next thing you know, they're like, oh my God, this motherfucking bitch know about my past. Yep. You gotta watch what you say, because females will say something to you that will hurt your fucking feelings. And you would not, you'd be so hard pressed to not, you'd be so hard pressed to try to not punch her in her face. And I say women are the most dangerous motherfuckers on the planet, are women. No, they're not. I'm hearing that a lot from I hear a lot of that from my friends. I'm like, okay. Okay, I guess when you're not raised around women, you don't know. I was raised around women. I was raised around women all my life. Not just raised around women, I've been around women most of my life. And I learned from a lot from women. You know what I mean? And what they can do to a man mentally, physically, and emotionally. Women really don't cry when a man breaks up with them. Men cry when women break up with them. Women really don't show emotion when they have their heart broken. I mean, some women do, But some women don't care because women can move on. Men can't move on because number one, for us to be deeply in love, we got to give up everything to fall in love. Women really don't have to give up shit. They give up some pussy, all right, but you fell in love with the pussy. The only thing she could do is just say, okay, well, I'm really not interested in you anymore because I mean, I'm. It was a sex thing. Or the man's going to take it so personally. We take it so personally when a woman break up with us because we are the ones that hold more emotion than women do. Men are very emotional. We just hide it. We want to pretend like we're tough, but like I said, we are the son of our own mothers, so we hold a lot of emotion on our sleeves. We just try not to show it. Women are emotional beings too, but women can move the fuck on. If they're in love, yeah, they're gonna get their heart broke. Yes, they're probably not gonna trust men, but they'll take that emotion. They got their heart broken, and they'll try to destroy the living shit out of another man. Us men, we never try to destroy a woman just because we broke up with one woman because she broke her heart. We will always try to keep the same love that we gave our ex-girlfriend to another girl. Women won't do that. If you break a woman's heart, a woman's gonna break that nigga's heart. Because every women don't think love's a game. Women think love is actually something that they're not afraid to do, but they won't let. See, I always believe this is a firm belief that women get bored fast. They probably won't tell their mate that they're bored, but I believe women get bored faster than men do. Women love excitement. Women like to be entertained. They don't want to be bored, and they get bored. Even if it's not a sexual or something, women will find somebody to entertain them. It don't have to be sex. It don't have to be nothing. It's just probably gonna be just a conversation. Women get bored faster than men do. Women fall out of love faster than men do. Women can make you a friend quick as shit. That a man can't put a woman in the friend zone. A woman can. A woman can get divorced from a man real quick by saying, well, he cheated on me even though he didn't cheat.